You may not know a lot about the Industrial Revolution, but neither did we. Until 3 weeks ago, we would like to think we have the Industrial Revolution down pretty well, and now we'll give you a short summary about it. You may ask how this is a revolution, but not all revolutions need to have bloodshed. This revolution was an economic revolution and started in Great Britain. This changed how the world produced goods. Great Britain doubled in population because of the falling mortality rate. This made families need supplies more, which led to the start of the revolution. This created factories and canals, which created a big role of iron and coal. Coal was used for cooking, warming houses, and just about anything that needed heat, while iron was used for transportation, communication, and banking. While talking about transportation, this was around the time the railroad started coming around. Railroads and steam engines allowed to transfer new inventions and ideas around faster than people could imagine. It was a big game changer for businesses and industries because it closed the time gap needed to transport goods and materials. This created more jobs, which gave more money for more people to spend, and which in turn made more ideas and products to be widespread. Another thing that happened was the Enclosure Acts, and British Parliament enclosed open fields and common land for legal property rights of the land. This meant wealthy farmers could basically pick any land they wanted, and the poorer farmers would get the leftovers. With the increase of the farmers, the Jethro tool machine was the capitalist answer. This machine was sold for profit to help farmers because it was a seed drill that could make farming time efficient, less effort, and you could maximize your crop yield. This was a good and bad thing. One thing it was good for was it started capitalism. A bad thing is the farm hands were losing work. With the loss of work, this made the farm hands move to the city and work assembly lines and in factories. The cities were very crowded, with most families sharing a one-room apartment. These jobs barely paid, although people were working 12 to 14-hour shifts. They had to clean machines during their lunch break as well. So basically, this really sucked. But what sucks even more is that everyone had to work. Women and children were working about the same hours as men in factories. Most of these children, though, worked the mines as trappers who would push the carts full of coal out of the mine, while women would pull these with a waist harness and chains, and they were called hurriers. With these terrible working conditions, you may ask, why don't people form a union? But there was a law passed called the Combination Act of 1799, which prevented a group to form a union because it was made illegal. They only passed this because the British government was scared of industrial and social democracy. They wanted powerful people to stay powerful and the poor to stay poor and weak. Employers were also paying the lowest they have ever paid for workers' compensation as well, but in some time the unions won over, creating trade unions. These changed a lot of things for the better. This included better wages, better benefits, and better labor protection. It also included laws like the Factory Act, which was an act that enforced a maximum 12-hour day, and children under 9 weren't allowed to work. Or like the later passed 10 Hours Act, no workers allowed to work more than 10 hours. With more and more laws passed, this started becoming more and more fair, which gave us our present-day laws of workers' compensation and union laws.